entering round 3, the collision event. Standing so far, Snowballs is having a tight 2-point lead over Team Primary. But going into the third position, in the third podium spot, goes to Team Galactic. In the third spot. With Team Galactic there. Snowballs currently has the lead in the overall standings, 36 to 34. But it's still not an easy lead not easy to look. Thunderbolts all the way at the back. But we are moving into the next event, the collision. So anything can happen there. As we're moving into the collision event, we are at the collision. Two teams are gonna face off each other until win. So the rules are, every marble you get defeat on the other team, you get a point. The most amount of if you get the more points you get, the more chances you have for a win. That's the rules. That's the only rules you have. But for tiebreakers, we look for how many points you gain against an opponent versus points you lose against an opponent. So that's tiebreakers. So yeah. So first match we are gonna be having the Snowballs and the Balls of Chaos. So yeah. Heat 1 is going to be Snowballs, Balls of Chaos, O-Rangers, and Thunderbolts. Heat 2 will be Team Primary, Jawbreakers, Mellow Yellow, and Oceanics. Heat 3 will be Team Galactic, Chocolatiers, Team Momo, and Savage Speeders. Heat 4 will be Pinkies, Cobalts, Slimers, and Rojo Rollers. So let's get set up for round 1. And the group is here. Round 1 of Collision begins now. Go. And Snowballs gets completely outpowered by the Balls of Chaos and is now being shoved around. 2 Snowballs is out. But 3 Snowballs are out, but 3 Balls of Chaos falls. Is this going to be a tie? This is probably going to be a tie. Balls of Chaos, though, is going to do their final few rolls. So far, it looks Balls of Chaos completely outpowered the Snowballs early, but then outpowered themselves later, leading to a loss. As we're waiting for the final Balls of Chaos Marble to finish their run, I think this will be a tie. They're going to slowly but surely roll to the dom now. All marbles fell on the top side. That is interesting. Really clean though. So Snowballs gains 3 points. Balls of Chaos gains 3 points. Points lost. Both sides lost 3 points. Going into round 2, which is the O-Rangers versus Thunderbolts. Wait. Balls of Chaos, will they roll? I think that they will stop at the edge. Wait, yeah, they will stop at the edge. So the Balls of Chaos are safe. Moving on to round 2. As that resets the board somehow. But we're moving on to round number 2. Round 2 is about to begin. We are out. Thunderbolts completely outpowers the O-Rangers, but this time loses 1 early, 2 early. Collision continues to blow as the O-Rangers lets loose of the dominoes, but the Thunderbolts falls. All 4 Thunderbolts falls. O-Rangers has 1 marble going, but will they knock their own marble off? Momentum is going for that way, but will they be saved? Yes. I think this will be a safe victory for the O-Rangers. 2-1, getting a 2-0 win. Wow, O'Rangers gains 4 points that game. Thunderbolts only gains 2. That is impressive stuff. Points lost, though, were fatal for the Thunderbolts. So, wow. So that was definitely not worth Thunderbolts' time. But once again, Marbles fell off on the top side more than the bottom side. That might be due with how the marbles are positioned, which is probably why they're doing that. But that is interesting. So far, Snowballs and Balls of Chaos are tied right now, but they are not going to face each other ever since. So we're moving on to round number 3. Next up, we have the O'Rangers versus Snowballs. We are rolling. Collision between them knocks both of. That was weird. They both get spread backwards, but only one domino fell so far. This might be a 0-0 game, which would be interesting. These formations might not be the best for combat because, wow. If no marble falls, there is a rule where we do redo it. If 0 marbles fall, but I don't think, but that only applies in the tournament stage. So the group stage does not matter. In tournament stage, that does apply, but in group stage, it does not, and that will be a 0-0 game. Because obviously, in the tournament stage, there needs to be a winner or loser, or else you can't move on. So, 0-0-0-0. All zeros on the board. Wow. Balls of Chaos versus Thunderbolts are next. So let's see what they can do. Next, we have the Thunderbolts versus Balls of Chaos. We are rolling. Oh my, that's the first time that's happened. They both just slammed into each other and then immediately stopped. That, however, is not entertaining. And especially, definitely one of the worst scenes we have ever seen before. If no dominoes fall, there's no rule against that. So that's another 0-0 game. Wow. Another 0-0 game happened. In the exact same game. Wow. Another 0-0 game. Next game we have Snowballs versus Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts is on their home field. So far, down 2 points. And with the middle 2 games tied up for both sides, this is going to be interesting. Snowballs versus Bolts. We are rolling. Thunderbolts tries to outpower them and shoves them out. 2 of them, but shoves out 2 of their own, 1 of their own, and now shoves out 2 of their own, but also loses a Snowball. Snowball, is there gonna stay alive? Yes. Thunderbolts, will they stay alive? No. Snowballs survive with 1. Wow, Snowballs survive. That was really close. Snowballs gains 4 points. Thunderbolts gains 3. So Thunderbolts is ahead of the Balls of Chaos and the O'Rangers right now. It's all tiebreaker. So yeah, this is so far. All the O'Rangers needs to do is beat. Is all the O'Rangers needs to do is beat 2 of the Balls of Chaos. That's all they need to do. All the Balls of Chaos needs to do is beat 3 of the O'Rangers. So, and also not mess up too hard, because the Thunderbolts is moving on if they go to a standstill. That's what the Thunderbolts is hoping for, a tie. With 1 apiece or 0 apiece. That's what the Thunderbolts needs to move on to the tournament stage. However, However, Snowballs is guaranteed to make it, unless if both sides kill each other. Snowballs is guaranteed to make it unless if both sides kill each other. That's the only time where they both don't Snowballs don't make it. So it's not guaranteed, but Snowballs is looking good. Oops, that is not intended. Ah, this is a mess. Okay. This is a really big mess. Let's reset multiple times. Momentum continues to... Ah, this is bad. Give me a second as this technical difficulty will go away eventually. We are rolling. Final event, group stage, and we are off. Balls of Chaos shoves two immediately, but shoves itself one. Rangers continues to get shoves around. Balls of Chaos loses another one. Rangers just going sloop. Balls of Chaos, will it save itself? No! Rangers, will that win the group? I think the Snowballs and the Rangers moves on to the next round. What a run. Rangers. Rangers got it. I think they got it. As we're waiting for the final two marbles to run to a stop, I think that's how it will end. Balls of Chaos only gets two Rangers while game. Wow, that was close. Balls of Chaos loses the event, and the Snowballs will get 7 points overall. Balls of Chaos only gets 6. Rangers gets a full 8, so Rangers moves on to the next round guaranteed, no matter what happens. And Thunderbolts, I can't do anything. Thunderbolts currently is in the standings right now. 2, 0, 3, 5. They only have 5 points, ever. Even though for the points for the Thunderbolts is 5, 7, 6, 8, 5 points against the Snowballs. It is 3 plus 3, 6. 3. So yeah, Snowballs and Rangers are moving on to the tournament stage as Balls of Chaos and Thunderbolts are out. Points against. As I'm calculating this, we're going to be moving on to the next round. For round 2 of Collision, we are rolling between Team Primary and Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers slams through, but also loses a marble with Team Primary. Team Primary is about to lose 2 marbles in one domino. Shoves another one is the Jawbreakers. Very bold move, but also loses one of its own marbles on the bottom right. Team Primary continues to bang. Jawbreakers slams itself into the net, and I think that will be over. Jawbreakers gets 3 points. Team Primary only gets 2. Points lost. Or Team Primary is insane, though. As we're moving on to round 2. So we are moving on to the second heat. For round 2, we have Mellow Yellow versus the Oceanics, and we are pulsing, and Mellow Yellow loses 2 marbles right away. Oceanics loses 1 there, and loses 2 right away. Mellow Yellow is down to 1 more marble with the Oceanics. Both of them are probably not going to collide with each other. This is probably going to be stagnant. Oceanics, will they survive here? It's looking like it's just going to be back and forth action right now. So that's slowly going to end in a stop. It looks like it will be 3-3. With 1 apiece on each side. Next up, we have Team Primary versus Mellow Yellow. So that will be next. Next up, we have Team Primary versus MYW. Mellow Yellow. And we're pushing. Oh, they both shove into each other. None of them makes move, but Team Primary loses one. Mellow Yellow. Will they lose one? Team Primary loses two. What just happened? I was about to say Team Primary. Will they push Mellow Yellow off? But then they lose two marbles there. Mellow Yellow hanging on in one group. Team Primary doing its own thing right now. I think it's gonna be just like that. Mellow Yellow gains 2 points. Team Primary gains none. That is insane. I need to think about it. Mellow Yellow. Yeah, I think that's over. Next up, we have Jawbreakers versus Oceanics. So that is up next. Round the next heat of collision, and we are set. They slam into each other. They ricochet. Oceanics. Will they cause the Jawbreakers to fall, or will they cause themselves? They're looking like to shove their own marble off, but they stop themselves. Resilience from the Oceanics. Will this be a 0-0 game? This might be. Jawbreakers loses one. Never mind. It's going to be a 1-0 at least. So far, these games have been pretty stagnant. Jawbreakers slowly but surely rolling its way towards the Oceanics. Does not really do much, and I think the game is over. Jawbreakers loses one there, and that one lets the Oceanics gain 1 point. Moving on to round 5 to 6. Team Primary versus Oceanics. Team Primary. Absolute. I think is leading right now, but I'm not 100% sure. Actually, they might not be leading at all. If Team Primary wants a shot for the title, they need a good result here, and I don't think this is going to be their good result. Slams each other. Oceanics shoves 1-2 off. Oceanics now just has to keep themselves alive, and they lost 2, but they let Team Primary lose 3. Team Primary got 2 points, just like that. And I think the game will be over from here. Oceanics is too slow to roll off the cliff by itself. So I think the game is over. Team Primary only gains 2 points while losing 3 points. Team Oceanics does the opposite, gains 3 while losing 2. Team Primary has gotten only 4 points gained over all those. And those points against are really hard. 8 points against. That's a -4 tiebreaker points. That is not what you want. The main priority is to attack the other opponent, but after you attack the opponent, you want to defend yourselves. That's the second priority, because that's for the tiebreaker. As Oceanics' run, they gained pretty respectable points. They gained 7 overall, while only losing 5. That's a 2. So that's a 2 TBP, which is a tiebreaker points. That's way better than a -4. So now we have Jawbreakers and Mellow Yellow for the final run of the day. Team Primary is really screwed at this point. I don't think Mellow Yellow is guaranteed to beat Team Primary. So Team Primary is already out. There's Jawbreakers. Let's see what Jawbreakers can do. Jawbreakers is also is not looking that good right now. Only has 3 points compared to Mellow Yellow's 5. So they need to beat Mellow Yellow by 2 to move on guaranteed, because Mellow and that's basically just, well, I'm just gonna say it's basically you need that to move on, because that just makes things a lot more simpler instead of complex. So moving on, versus Jawbreakers versus Mellow Yellow. Jawbreakers is on the field first. Mellow Yellow's up next. In 3, 2, 1, we are rolling. They slam into each other. Jawbreakers loses 1. Mellow Yellow, they lose 2. Jawbreakers has too much momentum and also jumps themselves off the dominoes. Mellow Yellow looks like is about to lose all their marbles. That's gonna be huge for the Jawbreakers. Jawbreakers trying to survive. They slam themselves off the edge. That's gonna help Mellow Yellow, and I think it's game over for the Jawbreakers. I think they're out. Even if when they win the group, I don't think it's enough. Let's check the score. Let's check the score. Jawbreakers. Calculating scores 7. That's tied with the Oceanics. Ooh, that's touch. That's close. I did not mean to say that word anyways. Mellow Yellow, let's check their score. 8. They're guaranteed to move on. It's all about the TBP now. The tiebreaker points. Points for and normal points are the same. Points against. I know you don't have a piece of paper, but I'm calculating. Jawbreakers has 6. Yikes. Mellow Yellow, they're guaranteed to move on, but Jawbreakers is out. Mellow Yellow has the same tiebreaker points as the Jawbreakers. They lost 7 overall marbles. Well, but they are moving on because of their higher points 4, aka normal points. Jawbreakers misses out. All they needed to do is to not fall, and they did fall. If they didn't fall, we would have went to the Jawbreakers versus Oceanics match, which the Oceanics still won. But so Jawbreakers was screwed regardless. They needed to keep 3 on, but that's sad for the Jawbreakers if you're Jawbreakers fans. Yikes. But however, the video needs to continue. This video is actually collision's actually gonna be split into 2 videos. The first video, the group stage, and the second video, the tournament stage. So far, group stage has been really chaotic. And now we have 4 new teams, so let's get them out. For group 3 of the collision group 3 of collision round 1, we have Team Galactic versus the Chalks, the Chocolatiers. This is gonna be so far. This is gonna be the first game of the round. Savage Speeders, who got dead last recently in an event, is currently trying to recover the poor results that they gotten. Team Galactic's up first. Versus Chocolatiers. We are rolling. What will they do? They collide. They go really synchronized, but Chocolatiers is out. Team Galactic loses 1, I think. No, they don't. Chocolatiers loses 2 marbles. Will they lose any more? No. Team Galactic taunting the edge. Chocolatiers, I think, will survive this. Team Galactic will also survive this. But this is looking really close. Team Galactic hanging on for dear life. Chocolatiers bumps the domino, but it's not enough to knock it over or fall, and I think that's over. Points. Team Galactic gains 2 points. and is having a pretty solid run so far. Next up is Team Momo versus Savage Speeders. This will be the main one opponent. Chocolatiers got screwed over by their own team, but mostly by themselves. So let's see how well these two titans will do. Team Momo, the titan of Team Momo is first. Savage Speeders is next. For round 2 of Group 3. We are out. They both collide with each other and they both lose one. Savage Speeders, though, loses another. Team Momo loses another. This is looking really tough for both of them. Will Savage Speeders survive? Yo, no! It's a full fall party. That was insane. All 4 fell. That does benefit both, to be honest, because it's points gained first before we go to the tiebreaker points. But wow, you gotta be kidding me. Team Momo is and Savage Speeders all lost all marbles because of that one round. Wow. Next run will be Team Momo versus Team Galactic. However, the teams are up against each other. Points gained versus points lost. And then we are moving on. Team Momo versus Team Galactic is the next heat. So let's see what will be rolling. The sky. Rolling Team Galactic versus Team Momo. Team Momo shoves Team Galactic off the edge. Will they stay alive, however? Team Galactic's has 2 marbles going towards the edge. One of them falls. 2 of them. The other one falls. Momo tries to open an opening but loses 2 marbles instead. Team Galactic saves itself. I think it's going to be 3-2. 3-2. Wow. Wow. I think that's it. Team Momo does benefit even harder. Now it has 7 points overall. Against Team Galactic only has 4. Chocolatiers has 0, so they need to be working harder. Team Galactic, will they fall though? I don't think they will, due to the barrier. Yeah, that will be it for round 3 of Group 3. Savage Speeders is up next. Chocolatiers versus Team Savage Speeders is up next. Skip ahead if you want to. We are rolling for the Savage Speeders versus Chocolatiers, and we're off. They shove against each other. Savage Speeders forcefully shoots itself off the edge. Chocolatiers, let's see what they can do. Well, they all 2 marbles just fall in the exact same domino. Savage Speeders collides with the Chocolatiers to shove, and then another shove to almost shove them off, but they don't. Savage Speeders has too much momentum. They need to stop that momentum. They do. They keep it. It looks like it's 3-1. 3-2. Up 3. Savage Speeders is up 3, but they need to try to get one more off. Chocolatiers is not doing it itself, so I think that will be it. Savage Speeders gains 2. Chocolatiers only gains 1. That is going to be really rough for the Chalks. Going into the finals, we have Team Galactic versus Savage Speeders against Chocolatiers and Team Momo. That's the final two teams that we have to do. So let's see what they can do. Team Galactic versus Savage Speeders is up first. Let's see what they can do first before the others. Chocolatiers needs a sweep just to have a chance for it. If Team Galactic does well, or the Savage Speeders do well, and the Savage Speeders have been doing really well this so far, and Team Galactic has done pretty mid. This could be the end of the road for the Chocolatiers. We are rolling. One group left. They shove Team Galactic 2 off. Savage Speeders loses 1. Savage Speeders loses 2. Savage Speeders loses 3 and 4. Galactic loses 2. Oh my god, it's a clean sweep. What a run. And that, I think, will end the Chocolatiers' run as results are finalized. Let's see. Team Galactic is up first, and they've gotten 8 total points. Points for is 8. Points against is 7. So they get a TBP of 1. And the Savage Speeders, which has gotten 10 points. 10 points and 9 points against would mean 1 TBP. Savage Speeders are guaranteed to move on. Chocolatiers are guaranteed to be out, by the way. They only have 1 point, so their maximum score is 5 points. Team Momo, look at their score. They have 7. All they need to do is get 2, and they're guaranteed to move on. Their TBP so far is not looking good. It's 1 right now. They need to improve that. So let's see what they can do. TBP stands for tiebreaker points, so if I didn't tell you like 3 times already, I just need to make sure you remember this. That will be the final time they will show up for a while, so if Team Momo cannot knock a single Chocolatiers, it's over. If they knock over 1, it's going to depend on how many they lose. If they knock down 2, they are guaranteed to move on. If they knock down 4, they get the highest points total so far. It all comes down to this. Team Momo versus Chocolatiers. They knock down 2, and they are moving on to the next round. Team Momo is moving on. They don't even care anymore. They just knock down 2 of their own marbles because they are moving on to the next round. Chocolatiers trying to stay on, but it does not matter. They are guaranteed out after round 5 by the other teams who prevented them from gaining enough points. Chocolatiers gains 3, Momo gains 3, and that will be enough for Momo. The Chalks had a rough run, though. They've only gotten 4 points, 4, and points against them is a lot. 7. That's a minus 3 TBP. Team Momo, on the other hand, has gotten 10 points in total. That's tied to Savage Speeders and knocks out Team Galactic as well. They've gotten, and they've gotten a 9. So they would have gotten a 1 TBP, but which would tie Team Galactic, but their score was so astronomically high that it did not matter. So yeah, overall, that was a really close run. But we have four marbles in the group stage before we're gonna see who will be moving on to the next round. We have four marbles to go. We'll see who will move on. So we are rolling for the final events. Pinkies versus Cobalts is up first, and then we have the Limers and then the Rojo Rollers up next. So let's see who will move on. Pinkies are up first. Let's see what they can do against, of course, the Cobalts. Pinkies has gotten a silver recently, so they are hot, looking good in the standings, at least a little bit. Let's see what both of them can do. We are out for battle. I messed up. Never mind. Let's redo that. I messed up. I forgot to move the Cobalts one to the left. That's my fault. I meant to do that, so try that again. We are battling. Collision happens. No one has fallen so far. Pinkies hits the wall a little bit. Cobalts hits the wall a little bit, but I don't think anyone will fall, to be honest. That will hurt both teams a lot. This will hurt both teams. If they can't get any other teams to fall, that will hurt both teams, and they get a 0-0. They get a quad 0, which would be devastating, and I think that will happen. So yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a quad 0. Wow. That is really impressive from both teams. That is really not the best. Moving on to round 2, we have the Limers versus Rojo Rollers. Both sides did complete trash. And now it's time for them to do excellent. At least to their standards. Limers are up first. I don't know what's wrong with me. So next we have the Rojo Rollers versus Limers. Let's see what we're facing here. We are battling. Big collisions there, but no one falls. That is surprising. Limers falls one on the outside. Rojo Rollers loses one. Rojo Rollers, will they lose two? No. Limers, though, will they lose two? Yes. Limers will probably not lose 3, so Rojo Rollers is pretty good so far. Limers loses 2 on the exact same domino. As we're moving on into round 3, game 2. This is close. So far, I did not mean to click that button. Next up is Pinkies versus Limers. So, Pinkies' turn to fight the Limers. This is looking like a pretty evenly matched setup so far. Let's see what will happen next. So far, no team's really bowling over anything. Collision between them lets the Limers just shove themselves and the Pinkies off. Pinkies gain so much momentum that they shove themselves off. Limers is down 2. They need to prevent another loss, and they lose all 4. Pinkies gains 4 points there. That's insane. Pinkies trying to not lose another one. I think they're safe. Pinkies is safe, I think. So Pinkies will gain 4 points. Limers gains 2. That is huge for their deficit. Next up is Cobalts. Pinkies has gotten a silver medal recently, so So yeah. Next up is Cobalts versus Rojo Rollers. Let's see what we can do, what they can do. Cobalts versus Rojos. Let's see what they can do. So let's... what just happened? Okay, try that again. We are rolling for the final group. Rojo Rollers bulldozes the Cobalts, but Cobalts loses 1, 2, 3, and 4. Rojo Rollers gets all 4 points. But will they lose 1 here? This might be 1. Oh, they barely does not. Wow. Their momentum was so low that it saved them. Here they defend themselves with the knob and is able to stay safe. Rojo Rollers able to stay safe as well. Cobalts, though, absolutely blundered it, gaining 0 and losing 4. That's the most devastating loss I've ever seen in Marble Sports history, in Collision history. Yes, that was devastatingly bad for the Cobalts. Their tie point average is currently -4 right now because they've gained 0 in the first game against the Pinkies, which was really lucky. Next up, we have the Pinkies versus Rojo Rollers. Speaking of the Pinkies, Pinkies time to shine, guys. Let's see what they can do. Many teams are hoping to see the Pinkies do well. Many Pinkies so far gotten a silver recently. Let's see if they can move on to the next round. They get shoved by the Rojos. And I don't think it's going well for them. They lost 1. Rojo Rollers also lost 1. Rojo Rollers lost 2. Pinkies lost 2. But they're about to lose 2 more if they're not careful, but they saved it. I think it's over. Rojo Rollers will not lose any more. Pinkies will not lose any more, I don't think. So, it's 2-2. That is gonna... Cobalts needs a... So let's check the standings after it. So, Pinkies has gotten 6 points. And only 4 points against them. So that's 2 TBP. Cobalt's gotten... Rojo Rollers has gotten 8 points and only 3 TBP. Wow. And a 3 TBP. That's a 5 TBP. Only 3 against them. Wow, that's seriously impressive. Rojo Rollers. It's all... So next up we have the Cobalts versus Limers. Limers currently needs a perfect run in order to pass the Pinkies. They just need it. They are falling way too far behind. Cobalts are not able to win. They are out. They've gotten 0 points gained this entire time. 2 rounds, 0 points gained. That is seriously trash-tastic. Limers, they need a full sloth of points to move on. Because their TBP is still going to be low. There's no way their TBP is going to beat the Pinkies, so they need to get all 4 Cobalts to fall. That's their goal, and if they want to move on and stay in the tournament. Cobalts, on the other hand, we'll just have to prevent the Limers, I guess, because they sucked already. We are rolling. 3, 2, 1, and we're off for the final battle of the round. Cobalts loses 2 already. Limers needs all 4 Cobalts to fall. There's 3. Cobalts. They don't lose the other one. This is going to be close. Limers trying to direct this marble to push it, but they can't. The momentum's pushing it the other way. I think it's over. Limers, on the skin of their teeth, will not move on to the next round. Limers did lose 2 this time, so the Cobalts finally gained points. Wait, they lose 3. What? How did the Limers lose 3? I think they directed it the wrong way. That's what happened. So it's a 3-3 loss, and the Limers is not moving on anyways. 6 overall ties the Pinkies. But their TBP is so bad that their points against them is so bad. They've gotten 9 points against them. Wow, that's a -3 TBP. Cobalts, though, has gotten even worse one. They've got a -4 TBP. They've gotten only 3 points for them. And guess what? 7 against them. That's in -4. And their marbles that are moving on are the Pinkies and the Rojo Rollers. Limers missed out by not knocking out the Cobalts. That's all it took. That is event part 1 of the collision, the group stage. We'll see you next time in the next one. Goodbye. But first, let's show you the standings. So all the results are in this one screen. It's kind of hard to see. So I can zoom in on every single heat. So let's do that. So first we have Group 1. O-Rangers and Snowballs move on to the next round with 8 points and 7 points respectively. Let's see how they did it. So here's the 6 games that they played to fight for those. We have Snowballs, Balls of Chaos, toss up in round 1 with 1 apiece. O-Rangers and Thunderbolts. O-Rangers survived with 2 remaining. Round 3 and 4, nothing happened. Rounds 5 and 6, Snowballs and Thunderbolts. Snowballs survived with 1, and O-Rangers versus Balls of Chaos, O-Rangers survived with 2. So, and overall, this is what the positions look like. For Group 2, I'm not going to explain every single time, sorry. So here's Mellow Yellow and Oceanics move on. Jawbreakers almost made it, but the only thing that they messed up was in one of the rounds they should have lost 1 less, and they would have tied the Oceanics, which even if that, they would have still lost, because if it's a complete tie for the move on spot and go down to the game against them, if that ends up in a tie, then we'll do a rematch. But since it did not come in tie, Jawbreakers lost 1. If they just didn't lose that one game, they would have moved on. They would have done a rematch against the Oceanics, and maybe would have moved on. Who knows? But this is what it looks like. Team Primary, Jawbreakers win. Mellow Yellow, Oceanics, it was a toss-up. Mellow Yellow versus Team Primary wins. Jawbreakers versus Oceanics wins. Oceanics, Team Primary loses. Oceanics moves on, and Jawbreakers, Mellow Yellow, Jawbreakers wins, but that's still not enough. And Mellow Yellow still moves on because of their monstrous first 2 games. So next up we have Group 3. Team Momo and the Speeders move on. Team Galactic does not move on, unfortunately, if you're a Galactic fan. Galactic versus Chocolatiers. Galactic wins Momo. Speeders toss-up. Galactic Momo wins. Chocolatiers Speeder wins. Galactic Speeders toss-up. Chocolatiers Momo toss-up. So, and then the final group is Rojo Rollers, Pinkies, Limers, and Cobalts. Cobalts couldn't even move on by their final game, so they just had to fight. They just had to try to play spoiler, and they did play spoiler towards the Limers. If the Limers just finished off that last Cobalt marble, the Limers would have moved on, but unfortunately they didn't. Pinkies, Cobalts toss up. Rojo Rollers, Limers. Rollers win. Pinkies, Limers. Pinkies win. Cobalts. Rojo Rollers dominate them. Pinkies, Rollers, toss-up. Cobalts, Limers, toss-up. That's it for the video. If you're wondering what's happening to the standings, that will be done at the end of the event. But 9th through 16th is now set, so we will see the points soon. But yeah, that'll be it for the video. This is a long video, I'm sorry. But we'll see you next time in the next one. Goodbye.